Good evening everyone, it's Tom Sidney Bushnell, aka Numbers, here from Sight Club, from the Tom Numbers Show and News with Tom Numbers. So I'm at a beautiful setting again, here in Swanage. Swanage is 70, Swanage is secret. Yeah, it's a lovely place. Okay, so I did a video on Twitter. If people haven't seen it yet, I'd recommend you to go to Real Tom Numbers on Twitter, which describes, well, it gives my movie review of Sound of Freedom. So I'm going to talk about an element of Sound of Freedom which has made Sound of Freedom possible, because people will know that Sound of Freedom was recorded 5 years ago in 2018, 2 years before the events of 2020. So it was ahead of its time really in many ways. But because of the nature of it, it's had trouble getting launched. But now everybody seems to be supporting it. So last night, Jordan Peterson was, there was a show that was released maybe a week ago, but it was released last night. It was filmed about a week ago, but it was released last night from what I could see, or at least in the last 48, 36 hours. And Jim Caviezel, Tim Ballard are on there with Jordan Peterson. And I knew this from the video I did last night, but it was confirmed, which I saw just a few moments after I filmed, that Angel Studios is the element, is the entity, is the body, is the studio that has made this possible to get Sound of Freedom out into cinemas. Okay, and I'm going to say who I believe is Angel Studios. I said it briefly last night, but I'm going to give more reasoning for it. So Angel Studios is Ivanka Trump. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you, that's the punchline. And the reason for that is Angel is 39. Studios is 107, which is Trump's, which is currency, which is military. It's a number of things. It's quantum, it's Aquarius, it's Superman, it's eternal life, it's atonement. So if you do Angel Studios or Angel Trump's and you swap that, Trump's Angel is 146. Who is Trump's Angel? It's his daughter, it's Ivanka. Because Trump's Angel 146 comes to Ivanka Trump. It comes to Truth Social. Now someone very close to me, or someone that I'm close to, or close to the film I should say, but I know, is, well I say it is Jim. So he sent me a message, and it was actually President Trump's Truth Social post. Now, this is the beauty of the numbers. Things happen synchronistically without our conscious effort, okay? That's how this works. We are in a simulation. Behind me is Isla White, 133 simulation, 133. So, the post that Jim sent to me was maybe taken an hour, maybe a few minutes after President Trump. It said an hour, so it was within an hour or so of President Trump posting. And it had 12.5 thousand likes, and it had or comments, and it had 3.09 thousand retweets or likes, one of those. So the figures were 125 and 309. And as soon as I saw this, I texted back and I did the numbers on it. So 125 is time travel, which is dark to light, which is John Kennedy. 309 is the shot heard around the world, Sound of Freedom. Children of Freedom, 160, Sound of Freedom, 160. The shot heard around the world. What is the shot that's going to be heard around the world? Ivanka did a famous Instagram post about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, where she looked like she was taking some medication, and anyway, if you drilled into it further, you saw that there were some other things that were being coded, and I did the numbers on that. The shot heard around the world is 309. 309th day of the year is November 5th. Emmett Brown is 148, which is Donald J. Trump, which is time traveler, which is simple gematria. So Emmett Brown, who represents Donald J. Trump, he invented time travel on November 5th, 1955. November 5th is the day of the year, which is 309. 309th day of the year is November 5th. So it's interesting that Truth Social 146, Angel Studios 146, Trump's Angel 146, Ivanka Trump 146, New Jerusalem 146. That was the post that I was sent with those numbers. But synchronistically that happened. That was just the way that the universe works. Universe is 113, which is trumpet. So if you add 125 time travel plus the shot heard around the world, 309, that comes to 434. Now 434 comes to Ivanka Trump 146, Sound of Freedom 160, plus 128 Independence Day. And the film was released in America on Independence Day, which was July 4th, which was 2 days ago. If you take this further, if you do Ivanka is behind, so if you do Ivanka is behind, that comes to 146, which is Ivanka Trump, which is Angel Studios, which is Truth Social. So if you do Ivanka is behind, Sound of Freedom, Independence Day, it still comes to 434. So 434 is a beautiful number. It's a palindrome. It's 434. So this is the way that the matrix works, everyone. You see that seagull just went past. Seagull is 77, which is power, which is Christ. Remember that the Trumps come from the line of Christ. Trump was born into a family, or raised in a family, Frederick Christ Trump. And his grandmother was Mary Christ, and his grandfather, his great-grandfather, so his grandmother was Mary Christ, great-grandfather was Felipe Christ. It'd probably be too obvious to say Donald John Christ Trump. People flip out at the biblical connections with Trump anyway. So, you know, he's the man that's got the most heat in the world ever, really. Maybe Christ at the time, probably. But in living record, who's got more heat than him? Or at least in our generation, people might say a German used to get heat. But in living memory, in my living time, in this lifetime, it's Trump that's got the most heat ever. There's a reason for that, everyone. What do you think the reason is? What do you think the reason is? Put answers on a postcard. Put your comments down on the comments, either on Twitter or YouTube. But Ivanka Trump has done stuff. She's done orders along with her father to end the suffering of humanity, which is referenced in this film, in Sound of Freedom. And as I said yesterday, Jim told me when he met Eric, and I've met Eric, Eric said, I think my people can help. And it might have taken a year and a half, year and 3/4 maybe, to get it off the ground, but when it came, it came. So everything's on God's timing. And this is a great segue into the story, into the reference of the subject of the Sound of Freedom. So I'd encourage people to go watch it. Anyway, God bless everyone. If you haven't already done so, sign up to my newsletter. You do that by joining my locals page. My locals community is free. It has free content, it has subscription content, but everyone can join for free. And you'll get updates, you'll get free videos there, you'll get news updates, and you'll get on my email list to avoid, to keep us free and active. And I'm also on Twitter, Real Tom Numbers 176, which is Back to the Future, which is November the 5th. And I'm also on YouTube, on Site Club, as you know. Site Club is 109 Witness, 109 17, 109 Diana Spencer 109. What did Diana witness? That's the question. Okay, everyone. God bless. Much love. Speak soon. Take care. Bye.